Hello reception, it's me again. Now you might be wondering why I've got my hat and scarf and coat on and I'm sat inside. But it's because today we're going to be doing an experiment. We're going to be investigating. What does that mean? We're going to be exploring and thinking about what might happen and why. And we're going to be exploring and investigating this. Now, that's really cold. Does anybody think they might know what this is? I'll show you. What do you think I've got here? That's right, it's ice. Okay, now do you know what ice is? How has this ice come to be ice? Well, yesterday we got some water and we put it in some cups and in some ice cube trays. And where do you think we put that water? That's right, we put it in the freezer. Now, you might have found ice outside recently because it's been really cold, hasn't it? It's been snowing and it's been very, very icy. So you might have found icicles, you might have found frozen puddles, and you might have already done some exploring and investigating with ice. But so we put water in the freezer. Now, water's runny, isn't it? It's a liquid. And this isn't. This is hard. Look. It's hard. It doesn't run through my fingers. It sits on my hand because ice is solid and it's gone solid and not liquid. But something is happening as I use it. Can you see my hands are getting wet? Because the ice is starting to melt. It is. It's starting to melt. Now, why is the ice starting to melt? Well, it's not in the freezer anymore, and the freezer is very cold. But this classroom's actually had the heating on all day, and my hands are quite warm. So when I'm touching the ice, it's starting to melt, and it's turning back into a liquid. Hopefully you can see it dripping from my hands as it turns from a solid back into a liquid. Now, what we want you to do, hopefully you've got some ice at home, and if you haven't, then don't worry, after this video you can go put some water in the freezer and make your own ice and then do the experiment a bit later. Now, I've also got myself 3 bowls, and I'm going to put some ice into each bowl. Okay, and you might wonder why I'm putting it in bowls, but that's because I think if this ice doesn't go back in the freezer, I think it might continue to melt. And we don't really want it melting all over the carpet. So I've put my 3 bowls. Now you are going to choose 3 places at home. Now you might choose to put one of your bowls of ice on a radiator. You might choose to put one of your bowls of ice outside. You might choose to put one of your bowls of ice just on the table, maybe in your kitchen. Okay, we want you to predict. We want you to think what is going to happen to each of the different bowls of ice depending on where you put them. So if I put this orange bowl of ice on a radiator, now what do radiators do? They get really warm, don't they? So I think if I put this bowl of ice on the radiator, I think it might melt quite quickly because the heat from the radiator will help it. Now I wonder if I put this bowl of ice outside. Now, we've already said the weather's been quite cold recently. So do you think this ice would melt faster or slower than this bowl of ice that's going on a radiator? We want you to have a little think at home. And like we said, we want you to put your 3 bowls of ice in different places around your home or outside and make some predictions about what you think is going to happen. And then over a few hours, you can keep checking on them and you can see what's happening. And you can tell your grown-ups, maybe you could even write down what's happening and say bowl number 1 maybe melted the fastest. Maybe bowl number 3 melted the fastest. It will depend where you put them. But we really hope that you have fun exploring the ice, okay? And seeing how quickly it will melt. I wonder if there's any way you can put the ice where it won't melt, okay? But we can't wait to see your predictions and then to see whether you were right or whether maybe you weren't sure what was going to happen, okay? But have fun exploring. See you soon.